Hey, seventh graders, this is Mr. Woolley, and I'm just going to go ahead and give you an explanation of some of the lessons that we'll expect you to work on through IXL. And it gives a bunch of sample problems, which is how to do them, and then there's some practice ones you guys can try on your own. I'll give you the answers for that afterwards. But hopefully it's something that can help you as you work through some of your IXL assignments. It's the same worksheets that the kids that are getting the packet are going to see, so you guys are all really kind of seeing the same types of things. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. Our first topic is for week 1, lesson A. It's the area of squares, rectangles, parallelograms, triangles, and trapezoids. So we'll start off with squares. I know some of you guys have worked with this area stuff already. Really from 5th, 6th grade, you got a little bit of it, and we talked about it so far this year as well. But area of a square is kind of simple because squares have all 4 sides the same. So if you have a 4 by 4 square, all you gotta do is multiply it. 4 times 4 gives you 16 square inches. Now, sometimes you're given the area of a square. And in this case, the area is 49 square inches for this one. And I put the 7 in there for you just to help you out just a little bit. But overall, how do you find the area of a square when you don't know what it is? Well, you know that side times side gives you the area. So x is our mystery side right here. And multiply that by 7, it should give you 49. Well, if we don't know what x is, we can go ahead and do the opposite. Instead of times by 7, we divide by 7 to each side. X gives us 7. But of course, 7 times 7 is 49 for a square. Rectangles, we're going to multiply the base and the height together. Sometimes you might call it length times width. But for here, our first example, we have a 9-inch by 8-inch rectangle. 8 times 9 gives you 72 square inches. Now, sometimes they give you the area, and you're missing the length of the width. In this problem, they give you 174.9 square centimeters for the area, and they do give you one of the side lengths, 15.9 centimeters. We're just missing this t side for right now. So we'll work through it like an algebra formula. T times 15.9 should give us 174.9. So instead of multiplying by 15.9, we divide each side by 15.9, and it gives you t equals 11. Parallelograms are similar to rectangles. They're just kind of leaning over a little bit. So you still have a base and a height, but the height will form a true 90-degree measurement with the base. Now the base up here is 4. That same measurement goes on here as well in a parallelogram. So it's a 4 by 8 parallelogram. 4 times 8 gives you 32. You always want to make sure you use the height that forms a 90-degree angle with the base. Sometimes you'll see mixed numbers as you work through the problems. In this case, you have a height of 1.5 inches, and the base is 1 3/4 inches. So when we multiply mixed numbers, remember, we can't just take them and multiply them as is. We'll have to go ahead and turn them into improper fractions. So 4 times 1 plus 3 gives you 7 fourths. Same kind of concept, gives you 3 halves. Multiplies out, you get 21 eighths. And then convert that improper fraction to a mixed number. And then 8 goes into 21 twice, and that's 16. 5 left over, so the 5 is the numerator of the mixed number. 2 5/8 square inches. Triangles. For triangles, the formula is to multiply the base and the height and divide your answer by 2. So makes sense because triangles in many cases are about half the size of the rectangle. So anyways, here's our base of 8, height of 4. 8 times 4 divided by 2 is how we'll solve this. Well, 8 times 4 gives us 32. If you divide that by 2, it gives you 16 square inches. Sometimes you work backwards through the area formulas as well in triangles. The area is 96.6, and then the height is 12. I'm missing the base. The base is y. So base times height divided by 2 is how we solve that. I just don't know what the y is right now, but I do know the area. So first thing I'll do is I'm going to multiply by 2 first, times by 2 first, and gets rid of the divided by 2 for that whole grouping. So instead of dividing by 2, we times by 2, cancels that out. Times this side by 2, and you get 193.2. Then all that's left is y times 12. So then get rid of the times 12 by dividing each side by 12. You're left with y equals 16.1. Trapezoids. We dealt with these a little bit with some of you guys. A little bit different formula for trapezoids. You have to add the 2 bases. The 2 bases are what's parallel with each other. You got to add those together, divide that answer by 2, then you can multiply by the height. So kind of looks like this when you write it out. You got base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2, then you just times it by the height. So in this particular picture, the 2 bases are the 4 and the 2. Add them together, 2 plus 4, and divide that by 2, and you multiply by the height, which is 6. And if we add 2 and 4 together, we get 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 times 6 gives us 18 square yards. And we can even work backwards through some of these. I know one of the IXL objectives, you might see a couple of these. If they tell you the area of the trapezoid is 94.5, and we have a base of 13 and a base of 5.9, we're just missing the height, pop all the numbers into the formula, just like you would normally. You have your two bases, you can add them up and divide by 2. Still got to multiply by that height, which we don't know yet, but it should equal 94.5. So I can do the math problem for this part here. So I add those together, I get 18.9. Now divide that by 2, and I get 9.45. So that leaves me with 9.45 times the height, gives me 94.5. Well, if I want the height by itself, I divide each side by 9.45 instead of multiplying. Divide each side by that number, and it leaves you with the height is going to be equal to 10. All right, so for those that have the packets or want to see what it looks like, this is the end of the page. This was a 1 page worth of practice that you get to see. And then after that, I'll shift over to your next page. The next page is a bunch of problems that you can try to practice. Now, this is an area where you can pause the video and work on the problems, and then I'll show you all the answers at the end. So the first one I kind of did for you so you get an idea what to do. You're just looking for area. Area equals question mark. So you have a 5 by 5 square. 5 times 5 is 25 square inches. So that's really all you do in all these types of problems. So I'll show you all these, and you can pause them as necessary and solve them. You can see all your answers at the end and check it. So this one, you have a side length of 8, area 64. You got to find what the missing side is. You got a rectangle here. It's a 3 by 8 rectangle. Find the area. And number 4, looks like we got a missing side to a rectangle, but they do give you the area, so you can solve for that missing side. You have a parallelogram where you have all the measurements that you need right there for you. Find the area of that parallelogram. And you have a parallelogram again, trying to find the area. Just happen to work with mixed numbers this occasion. And then you have a triangle. Try to find the area of that particular triangle. And then we have another triangle where you have the area. You just got to go ahead and try to find what that missing height is going to be. And we have a trapezoid here with all the measurements you need. Just got to try to find the area of that trapezoid. And then you have a trapezoid where you're missing the height. You can see if you can figure out how to solve for that particular height. All right, so you can pause the video at any point and work on those, or wait till you're all done and practice them. But I'll go ahead and go over the answers now. You can get your final look at these. For number 1, your answer should have been 25 square inches. Number 2, your answer was 8 inches. Number 3 was 24 square millimeters. Number 4, 8 meters. Number 5, 48 square centimeters. Number 6, 3 3/4 square feet. Number 7, 40 square inches. Number 8, 14 centimeters. Number 9, 72 square meters. And number 10, 4 yards. And these are helping get you ready for IXL AA2 and AA3 for your first assignment of week 1. All right, thank you very much, and hopefully this went well for you guys, and good luck on your IXL.